We were talking earlier, what's it like to be back on campus?
It's a delight, and it's a walk down memory lane because in 1998 I was here starting my first business on campus. I was working on the side of my classes on a business plan, like many of the people you see around you right now are probably doing the same thing.
Yeah, it was funny. I was talking to one of the current students, and I asked her what you're going to do this summer for an internship, and she was like, "No, I'm actually working on a business right now already." So, yeah.
Well, let's talk about your business because you continue to grow and expand. What is it that guides you in terms of your choices? You've got digital art, you've of course got invitations, your wedding business, it's a big one.
Yeah.
You are moving into furniture. You just debuted a line this summer with West Elm. What is it that guides you, Mariam?
Well, I think the fundamental thread through all of these businesses is this idea that great talent can come from anywhere. Great ideas can come from anywhere. And so what we're trying to do is bring great, independent, unique art and design to people everywhere and empower artists around the globe to put their hat in the ring and then really build businesses off of our platform, regardless of where they were educated, where they're from, whether they had any connections to be able to get into business. This helps anyone really, be part of a marketplace.
What are you finding as the best way to communicate what you're doing and how you're growing? Because I do think a lot of people know Minted for invitations. I mean, full disclosure, it's what we use for, my wife and I use for our wedding, and I think people know it for holiday cards, but how do you then communicate that you're doing furniture as well?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I mean, we are targeting niche audiences through niche marketing. So, you might not see it at the very highest level of corporate marketing, but we are marketing to different audiences. But I think also you'll see more brand building campaigns from us at the higher level this Christmas season, where we really are focusing on the artist as the common thread through all these businesses, so that I think people really understand that it's really about an artist marketplace and community that is participating across textiles, paper, furniture, wall art, many different goods, and but really centering it around the artist's story and their journey. And you'll see that coming out soon.
You are so great about highlighting other people's journeys and artists' journeys, but what about your own journey here? Because you didn't get accepted the first time around,
yeah.
But you came back the next year. How did you make that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's this idea of being persistent and fighting for what your dream is. And, I had come into Stanford knowing I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I'd landed in California in 1993 after graduating from college. I'd spent some time at some other businesses in investment banking and consulting, and I knew that I wanted to carve my own path. I felt that if I'd gone more of the bigger corporate route, I wasn't sure if that was a good fit for me, or if I would be given the responsibility that I thought maybe in my 26-year-old mind I thought I maybe deserved. And so I really felt that the U.S. is, I'm an immigrant to the U.S. I felt like this is really a country of great opportunity, and that the American consumer would be the ultimate judge of merit, that they wouldn't really care necessarily who made the product. If they liked the product, they would buy the product. And so I was really motivated around entrepreneurship as a way to create the world I wanted to live in and create the products I wanted to see.
Have you found that to be the case about the American consumer?
I do think so. I mean, this is one of the best things about being American, is that we have this huge petri dish of like several hundred million consumers who can buy your product and test your product. So it's why we are so good at product development and marketing, actually, because we have a great petri dish. And so that's exactly what's happened. And that's why I wanted to pursue entrepreneurship and come to Stanford. So when I came out, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. Yeah.
So what's the end game? And it's a Bloomberg question. I mean, it's got to be nice being private but having investors involved, right? But I mean, is the ultimate goal to be a public company? How do you think about it? Because there are options today. I think it used to be, it was a direct path. You stayed private for a long time, but as soon as you could, you get to the public markets. It doesn't have to be that way. There's a lot of cash out there with investor support to keep a business going for years. We see that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're always trying to keep all options open, but it is an independent company in the sense that our artists are independent too. It's a fungible community; people can come and go, and I think the idea of trying to capture that community inside another company is probably a little bit of it would be forced and kind of strange, probably.
Yeah.
So I think of ourselves as an independent business, that we're building an independent company, and certainly we could continue private financing or go public, and we're just preparing for either, both both paths. We always keep ourselves prepared for both.
We haven't raised money in a couple of years, since 2018.
Yeah.
But you are cash flow positive. What can you share with us? All known that you're a private company.
Sure. Well, I can share that we're several $100 million in sales. We are cash flow positive. We are growing rapidly, and we haven't even begun to tap our international markets at all in terms of, consumer marketing or sales. So I think there's a lot of room ahead to grow.
Mariam, is that part of it though, the international growth?
Yeah, because our community is actually now in 100 countries, and so our 100th country, I believe, was Kenya, and we are reaching every part of the globe now in terms of sourcing. So I think it makes sense that if we're sourcing all these different designs and aesthetics, why not provide those products to people locally as well? I think it makes a lot of sense. You could shop Minted Sweden or Minted France and have a completely different look to the Minted assortment.
And finally, just give us an idea of how you made it through the pandemic during wedding season when it completely just dried up.
Well, this is the kind of thing that I think, Stanford and getting a great education around frameworks and how to learn more quickly. I think at Stanford and the GSB teach you how to learn. You learn how to learn, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And you learn how to learn really quickly. And the pandemic was a great example where things were literally changing by the day, and you had to reformulate your strategies both with regards to your employee base and your commercial activities by the day, by the week, and what really prepares you for that. So I would say we did have to quickly cut expenditures for a while because revenue dropped. We ended up cash flow positive anyway for the year, and we did really focus on different product lines that we thought people would find very popular. Home goods, for example, that's been booming.